The Honourable Minister for Employment and Industrial Relations and Productivity, my brother, Agni Deo Singh. I am, of course, the Vice President for the Human Resources Institute. And I'll admit, when I first saw this, I thought it said Fiji Human Rights Institute, and I was excited because really, they are interchangeable, aren't they? You know, workers' rights are human rights, and so this could very well be the Fiji Human Rights Institute in developing our nation. But I'm really deeply honored to stand before you today as you inaugurate this Fiji Human Resources Institute meeting. I send my heartfelt appreciation to the invitation to come and share today. I thought, Agni had already set the stage and said what need to be said, but I have just a few more points to add. But I wanted to start off by just thanking publicly, perhaps for the first time. I want to thank my brother Agni. As you know, in the last few months, as a worker myself in the place of politics, I faced my own challenges as a woman in politics, but I want to thank my brother Agni, one of the very few people who are my colleagues that reached out and thanked me for a few things, but just sharing his sentiment, I probably didn't realize how much strength he gave to me. And I think that is the kind of worker and kind of colleague you want with you in the workplace. So thank you for that, brother. There is... And because I'm speaking on gender and a woman in the workplace, I felt it was appropriate to start off that way, that you've got to have colleagues and friends in the workplace that will be there for you, that you know will be there for you when you need it, because you are that kind of person that are there for your colleagues when things go hard, when there's a crisis, there's a challenge, they will be there for you. But in a world where the demands of our jobs can sometimes feel relentless, prioritizing our physical and mental well-being is not just an option, it's an absolute necessity. And of course, for me, in my experience, relentless is a very soft word when it comes to politics. Politics, when you're in the world of politics, there is no option. You don't have options. You have to step up and you have to be there for the people that voted you in. You have no excuses. And so the light is shining on you as a public official, and you have to keep going. Sometimes it is beyond relentless, sometimes it can be unbearable upon you and your family, but this is the nature of a workplace that you choose to be in, and it is a choice for me, and I am not going anywhere. But look, workplace wellness goes beyond just a mere aspiration. You might have your aspirations in your job, but every day, daily, you are dealing with coming to work and facing and working with your colleagues and working with your boss and working with those that supervise you and working with those that are subordinate to you. So you belong in a structure. I want to shift our attention to this paramount subject of gender equality, and I'm very grateful that we've started off on this note. And I come so with the greatest respect for all our men in the room. As I talk about gender equality and workplace wellness, it's really about leveling the playing field, being able to have the same opportunities as our male colleagues do. And as you know, I'm the only woman cabinet minister, and that is something that I deal with every day as I work with my male colleagues. And there will always be dealing with gender equality when it comes to decision making and it comes to workplace wellness. When you're dealing with this in gender equality in the workplace, you envision an environment that where every individual, regardless of your gender, can enjoy equal opportunities, equal rights, and equal treatment. Equal treatment. It means that all the employees have an equitable chance to excel, advance in their careers, and contribute their unique talents without fear of bias or discrimination. In such a workplace, women's leadership is celebrated. Employees are appraised and promoted solely on their skills, qualifications, and performance. It's an environment where gender pay gaps are eradicated. Gender pay gaps are eradicated. And again, I acknowledge my brother Agni for years who's fought for this, for the teachers in the teaching profession and in other professions and other workplaces as well. But I have to share in all the workplace settings or social settings that I've ever experienced, never have I ever felt equal except for the space in the unions, in the trade unions, where when workers who are fighting for rights come together, it's an equal round table opportunity. And I've never, ever, ever felt any less being a woman. And so it is really where, the notion of equality is nurtured. And so when champs like Honorable Agni go out, I know he tries to do his best to achieve equality in whatever he stands for. And I'm very appreciative of that. In a workplace culture that actively supports work-life balance, providing flexible arrangements that accommodate family responsibilities like childcare, through initiatives like flexible working hours, paternity and family leave, it is a good environment to be nurtured. And for your information, and I've stated this before, the new Department for Children that we've established in the ministry has now become the regulatory authority for any employer that wishes to set up a childcare in the workplace. So this is now approved by Cabinet. We have guidelines now for any employer that wishes to start a childcare. The Department for Children will certify or will be the regulatory authority that you meet certain standards. As you know, there are already companies doing it, like Mark One Apparel. Vinod Patel has approached us. They're moving towards that, as well as Fiji Airways. So I do challenge you, each of you, you're in human resource here, to see if you can push for this in your own organizations, for childcare facilities, because the number one reason for women struggling in the workplace is because of absenteeism, because they're dealing with either violence, they're dealing with the care of young children, and etc. And so they miss work, not because they want to, but because they have to. So providing this opportunity in your workplace will certainly help our women to feel productive and be in a healthy working environment if this should be provided. So we hope that you'll be able to take that up. We want an environment where sexual harassment is not tolerated. Sexual harassment is not tolerated. And you know, a number of years back, I assisted a young woman who was facing sexual harassment in her workplace, and it resulted in her taking the matter to court, so I cannot comment on the matter in court. But it was a test for the structure around her and the support around her. Why was it that she was only left with a choice to come to me, an opposition member of parliament, to raise her complaint? Why was she not heard within her organization? Why was she not prioritized in other NGOs that she approached? So she felt she needed to come to me because there was nowhere else to go. How do we support our women who are facing sexual harassment at work to ensure that you, as the manager, you are the first person that will assist her, that you will start off by believing her, and then it will be up to anyone else who is being accused to disbelieve that. Because if she's coming forward to you first, you are there to take care of her wellness and her health. And she needs a platform to be heard rather than turned away, or rather than, oh, just be tough, it's okay, it's normal. Normalizing bad behavior in the workplace will lead to sexual harassment, and it will explode to the point where you, as the human resource manager or as those that should be taking care of this worker, will have to answer outside of your organization, and that can become a big embarrassment to your organization. Gender-based violence survivors in our own offices. 60% of women in Fiji face some form of partner violence. And 83% of children face some form of violence. So if she is facing violence, you can be sure her children are also facing violence. And so how do you, as a human resource manager or person in charge, help her or take care of her in that situation? What kind of support structure is available for her in those situations? Now, I understand the path to achieving gender equality is not without its challenges. There's always going to be the unequal opportunities, the persistence of outdated stereotypes, what she should wear, where she should be hanging out, what she can do. These are outdated stereotypes. A woman should be able to do whatever a man does. That's equal opportunity. That's equal opportunity. And if there are stereotypes that you yourself hold, they are outdated. They don't belong in the 21st century. They don't belong here and now. Because she will look, a good person can be lost if she goes and looks for somewhere else where she feels accepted. And she feels that she can thrive because she can just be herself. Fijian women face all these various challenges in their careers. There's also the burden of unpaid care and domestic responsibilities that limits her access to leadership positions. So, we women, the role of women, and men too, but with women is traditionally seen as the nurturer. Her job is 24/7. And so if she's not at work, she's at home looking after the family or preparing dinner or whatever it is, traditionally. But I hope we, the males in this room, can break those stereotypes and say, you know what, I can also come to the table. I can equally participate at home and help her so she can be productive at work, so she's not too tired or she's not too exhausted worrying about the children and being the only parent going to interviews and going to school events or even Sunday school or even other things. It's just the mom turning up, taking her to church, the children to church, etc. These are some of the realities that our women face. They feel like they're going at it alone, even when they hold positions of leadership at work. So she's turning up to work exhausted and tired. And so those are kind of issues you face. You may have a woman coming to work tired. What's going on behind the scenes? Is she being supported? So this is being faced because of the cultural and traditional expectations that are placed on a woman. Now, colleagues, these challenges necessitate our collective efforts to eliminate them and create workplaces. She spends more time in the workplace than she does at home. So think about that. She's with you in the workplace than she is at home, with the hours she spends every day at work. What are you doing to help her deal with these alarming statistics of gender-based violence, alarming statistics of sexual harassment, alarming statistics of a single parent doing all the work at home and the unpaid care at home while the spouse is not coming to the table to assist. She's dealing with that. Those are her realities. What are you doing to help her so when she comes to work, she is assisted, that she can cope, What are some of the services you're providing? These are the questions that we ask ourselves as leaders in human resource. And the reality that's happening now to our country, our men are leaving the country. Our men are leaving to go on the labor mobility scheme. And soon enough, our women will become the human resource, will become the backbone of the economy. Women will need to go to work to support their families. I have too many women that come now to social welfare to seek assistance because they're not receiving any more money from their spouses or those who have gone to the system. So they want to work. So what is there for us to provide when they come to work? With their children who are left at home, who's taking care of them? But we need to put our women to work. They will soon become our human resource. Are we prepared for that challenge that we're facing right now with the shortage in the labor market of our men? And there are more women that are left behind. Are we prepared for that, especially 18 to 35-year-olds? They will soon become your human resource. I hope you're prepared for that. Now, as vanguards of change, as architects of policies, and the stewards of progress, and inclusion in your organizations. Your roles extend beyond the traditional human resource functions. You are in the 21st century now. It is within your purview to cultivate these environments where gender equality thrives. That you will be a male advocate for change. You will be a male advocate for the women around you, just like my brother here, Agni, is for me, to support me. You as the male advocates, that you will uplift and assist your female colleagues to thrive in your environment. As we convene the next 2 days, I hope you will seize this opportunity, focusing your energy on practical solutions aimed at creating safe work environments free from sexual harassment and gender-based violence. Now, too often we are seeing these discriminatory expectations around caregiving responsibilities, as I said, that hinders Fijian women's career aspirations. I hope you will be championing policies to help these women, that they will thrive in the environment, looking at generous parental leave, accessible childcare support, and other initiatives like that to help your colleagues in the organization. I hope you will have candid discussions on how to change perceptions of leadership, where women in leadership is encouraged in your organization. And then Fijian women in all your diversity, they should be celebrated as leaders. You should be celebrated and recognized for their contribution across all sectors. Hope that your hiring practices will actively seek out women, that you will be an equal opportunity employer for women, for even if you can, for our people living with disabilities, that you will be an equal opportunity employer and you will strive for that in your organization. That it doesn't look or seem like it's a boys' club. And not just a boys' club, but a boys from certain schools club. Yes? It's the reality of what we face, yeah? Or certain, just OBs, they say OBs, right? Yes. But, this is a reality that we face in certain organizations. How do we break that clique? How do we become the disruptors or the agents of change to ensure that there's inclusivity? Yeah? And I'm not just talking about gender equality. I'm talking about ethnicity. I'm talking about religious beliefs. I'm talking about age, seniority, which traditionally is prioritized. This is the 21st century. Yeah? You qualify, you meet the merits. It doesn't matter what your age should be. Yeah? We cannot be ageists to think that the opinion of only an older person matters. Yeah? We've got to listen now to our young people. They know, they have their hand on the beat now of what sells in the 21st century. Are you prepared for that as human rights also, as human rights champions, as human resource champions in your organizations? You have the power to drive change that extends far beyond your organization's walls. And I hope you will be that advocate when push comes to shove. I have faith in our shared commitment, our collective passion, and our unwavering resolve. And I hope and pray that you have a very blessed remainder for the meetings. And again, just adding on to what my brother Agni said, we need teamwork, makes the dream work, doesn't it? Yeah? So continue with your teamwork, include everyone, be inclusive, and be equal, and thrive and aim for equal opportunities in your workplace. Thank you for this time. Vinak Vallevu, Danya Baden Fexia.